will explain how the structure and composition of the cell membrane is connected to its function in keeping the cell alive, balanced, and protected. By the end of this lesson, you'll understand not only what makes up the cell membrane but also how each part contributes to its important roles in the cell. Cell membrane is also called plasma membrane or plasmalemma. It makes the outer wall of the cell, separates intracellular and extracellular fluid. Exchange of substances between inside and outside of the cell happens through the cell membrane only. Cell membrane plays a crucial role in protecting the cell, controlling what goes in and out, and helping the cell to communicate with its surrounding. It acts like a gatekeeper, letting in nutrients, removing waste, and preventing harmful substances from entering. Cell membrane is very thin and pliable. Its thickness is about 10 nanometers. Main constituent is lipids is about 40%, proteins is 55%, and carbohydrate is 5%. Now, let's talk about each of these components one by one. The first one is lipids. The lipids are arranged in two layers like a sandwich. Thus, they make a lipid bilayer. It mainly has two types of lipids. The first one is phospholipids. Phospholipids are the main components in cell membranes. They line up in a bilayer arrangement, acting as a barrier to water-soluble molecules. Phospholipids are by far the most abundant among them. It has a phosphate head which is hydrophilic, means it likes to be with water, and a lipid tail which is hydrophobic. It means it likes to stay away from water. Now let's continue with the next lipid, cholesterol. Cholesterol molecules are dissolved in the lipid bilayer. It controls the fluidity of the membrane. Cholesterol manages the fluidity of the membrane and stops the phospholipids sitting too closely together. This stabilizes them and reduces the chance of the membrane freezing in cold temperature. At modest, it makes the membrane more rigid, and at the high concentration, it increases its fluidity. Here are the functions of lipids. First one is form the structural framework. As phospholipid bilayer is the main structure of the membrane, it creates a flexible but stable barrier that separates the inside of the cell from the outside environment. Second one is provide selective permeability. The hydrophobic tails block the water-soluble substances, while the hydrophilic head face the water environment inside and outside. This allows the membrane to control which molecule can pass through. Third one is mean fluidity. As cholesterol molecules fit between phospholipids, preventing them from packing too tightly or becoming too loose. This keeps the membrane fluid in cold temperature and stable in heat. Fourth one is protect the cell. The lipid barrier helps shield the cell from harmful substances like toxins and pathogens by limiting what can pass through. For example, think of lipids like the walls of a bubble. The bubble is soft and flexible but still holds its shape and keeps the inside separate from the outside. Without lipids, the cell would fall apart.
Proteins, mostly in form of glycoproteins. A glycoprotein is a protein with one or more covalently attached carbohydrates. These carbohydrate chains or glycans are added to the proteins through a process called glycosylation, which can occur co-translationally or post-translationally. One part of it is integral membrane protein. Integral membrane protein are proteins that are embedded within and attached to the phospholipids bilayer of cell membrane. They are permanently attached and cannot be easily removed from the membrane. These proteins play crucial roles in various cellular processes, including transport, signaling, and cell adhesion. The second one is peripheral membrane protein. Peripheral membrane proteins are proteins that are attached to the cell membrane's surface without penetrating the hypophobic core. They are loosely bound to the membrane or to other membrane proteins through non-covalent interaction like hydrogen bonds or electrostatic interaction, these proteins play crucial roles in various cellular processes, including signaling, transport, and enzymes activity. Here are the functions of proteins. The first one is transport protein. Transport proteins are specialized proteins that are facilitate and the movement of molecules across cell membranes. They are crucial for maintaining cellular function and homeostasis by enabling the passage of essential substances like ions, sugars, and other molecules in and out of the cells. These proteins play a vital role in various cellular processes, including nutrient uptake, waste removal, and cell signaling. The next one is receptor. Receptor proteins are specialized proteins that play a crucial role in cell communication by binding to specific signaling molecules, ligands, and triggering a cellular response. They act as cellular sensors, receiving and transducing signals from the external environment or other cells, enabling cell to respond to stimuli and maintain proper function. Next is adhesion molecules. Adhesion molecules are proteins on cell surface that mediate cell-to-cell and cell-to-extracellular matrix interactions. They are crucial for various biochemical processes, including tissue formation, immune response, and cancer metastasis. Next is enzymes. Enzymes are biological catalysts, meaning they spend up a chemical reaction in living organisms. They are typically proteins that are facilitate by biochemical process without being consumed in the reaction itself. These reactions are crucial for life including digestion and energy production, and many other cellular functions. Next is intracellular signaling. Intracellular signaling refers to the complex network of biochemical pathway and interactions within a cell that allows it to respond to its environment and communicate signals. This process is crucial for regulating cellular behavior, including gene expression, protein synthesis, and overall function. It involves a series of events triggered by extracellular signals that are received by cell surface receptors, leading to change within the cell. Next is submembrane cytoskeleton. The submembrane cytoskeleton is a specialized network of proteins located just beneath the cell membrane. It provides structural support, influences cell shape, and plays a role in various cellular processes. Its dynamic structure constantly being remodeled in and is crucial for cell movement, signaling, and maintaining cell integrity. The last one is antigen. An antigen is a substance that triggers an immune response in body, prompting the production of antibodies. Essentially, is anything that the immune system recognizes as foreign and potentially harmful. This can include bacteria, viruses, pollen, or even substance within the body like those on cancer cells. Example: imagine the cell membrane is like a busy office building. Proteins are the doors, elevators, and stuff that let people, molecules, in or out, and help the building function.
Most of the carbohydrates found in the cell membrane aren't just floating around on their own. They usually attach to the proteins and fats, forming structures we call glycoproteins and glycolipids. The sugar parts of these molecules almost always sticks out on the outside of the cell. Like tiny little flags waving to the environment, these flags carry important information that other cells can read. And also, when you put all these sugars together, they form a thick, fuzzy layers that cover almost the entire surface of the cell. This layer called the glycocalyx. The glycocalyx does many important jobs. It acts like a protective shield for the cell, helps cells recognize and communicate with each other. It even allows the neighboring cells to stick together. Without it, cells would have a harder time defending themselves, identifying friendly cells, and forming tissues. Carbohydrates act like levers that tell cells who they are and who they can work with. They help cells connect, send message, and protect the body from harmful invaders. It's like giving each cell its own ID card so the body knows it belongs there.
So, what happens if the cell membrane becomes too soft? Number 1. Loss of shape and structure. the membrane won't able to maintain the cell shape. As a result, the cell may appear deformed or unstable, which can affect how it interacts with its surrounding and perform essential functions. For number 2, easier for harmful substance to enter. A soft membrane may not act as strong barrier. Cell membrane is to act as a protecting barrier, preventing harmful substances such as toxins, pathogens, or unwanted molecules from entering the cells. When the membrane is too soft, it becomes less effective at blocking these threats, increase the risk of the cell damage or infections. And for number 3, difficulty in communication and signaling. Membrane proteins may not stay in the right place, affecting how the cell receives and responds to signals. This misplacement can disrupt the cell's ability to receive and process signals from its environment, leading to fear, coordination, and inferred circular response.
So, what happens if the cell membrane becomes too stiff?
Cell bursting. Cell bursting, also known as lysis, can have a range of effect both on individual and on surrounding tissue. When a cell bursts, its contents are released, potentially causing damage to neighboring cell and triggering inflammation. This can lead to a further cascade of further cell damage and in some cases even systemic effects. Reduce flexibility. Reducing cell membrane flexibility can lead to several negative effects, including impaired cell function, increased susceptibility to damage, and potentially cell death. Nutrients and waste transport problems. Problems with nutrients and waste transport can lead to cellular damage and potentially cell bursting. When cell can get enough nutrients or remove waste effectively, it disrupts their internal environment, leading to swelling, damage, and in severe cases, rupture.
Impaired cells communication. Receptor and signal molecules are embedded in the membrane might not function correctly. If the cell is too stiff, communication between cells becomes poor. It's like you're having a phone with no signals. When messages don't get through, cells can work together properly, and this can cause problems in how the body functions. Increased risk of damage. A stiff membrane is more brittle, so it may crack or rupture under stress. A stiff membrane is also easier to break, like a dry leaf that snaps instead of bending. Healthy membranes should be flexible so they can handle pressure and movement without getting damaged.